first step is just what you do for a lot of these, just fill out the sheet for what you're doing. One thing, this was mostly made for like the gold platinum. For sputter current, there is no current for the carbon coating. Sorry, just looking what I did last. Carbon post 75. So these will all just be on like the recipe. Okay.
So it says pulse under.
Yeah, so
okay.
I guess I can go here. So under the menu, you can do like sputtering or you can do carbon thread. I'm doing carbon thread for mine. There's a couple options. You can pulse single, flash, pulse double, blah, blah, blah. I normally just do pulse single. It seems to be the best for like a thin layers, because I'm only looking for 3 nanometers. You can adjust the thickness here is going to be the main thing you want to adjust. Generally don't adjust the vacuum or the working distance. So 3 nanometers. As it is right now, it's just in standby mode. You can see standby right there. It's pumped down. So I just want to vent that, and it'll take a little while. Right. So now that it's vented, you can unlatch it and open it like this. To remove the stage, you can just lift it up and out. You want to avoid touching the quartz in the center. Put that aside for now. And so we want to change the carbon source because it was used last, and just to show how to change the source. To do that, open up the top here. You want to make sure it's vented, which it is. Just open the chamber. Unscrew these little thumb screws and unlatch. Probably actually unlatch these first so it doesn't wiggle around as much. Just put those to the side. Each of them are keyed differently, so you don't have to worry too much about which one's where. So these are the carbon threads. As it's carbon coating, it'll put current through between 2 of these posts to heat up the carbon thread. And so all the equipment is down here to change the carbon thread. So you need carbon thread itself, the hex screwdriver, little brush, and then some scissors. So the first thing is just to get rid of the old thread. And I'm guessing some of this is broken. Yeah, like this one is already broken. You can see it there. Looks like most of these are actually still good. But I'll just replace it. It's cheap. Replace it, you just kind of unscrew all of these. And then I'll generally just take this over to the trash can to brush out the thread and any residue that's with them. So just kind of lightly brush all around to make sure there's not anything lingering in there. Next, we'll take our carbon thread. A good rule of thumb for the carbon thread for like the length you want is to just measure out like the bottom of this, the chamber here. So roughly like right there. Just cut it. And then you just kind of weave the thread in one at a time. First one's probably the hardest as you get it in, but then you just tighten that, not super tight because it can break the thread. And same thing with pulling on the thread. If you pull too tight, if you pull on too tight, it can break pretty easily. We just kind of go one at a time, weaving it between these posts. I might have not done this one quite right either. The carbon thread to be touching this piece over here you can see when I was trying to tighten this one, it's kind of going into there. You don't want that, so I'm gonna take this out. Kind of snagged in there. Is just to trim the ends just so it doesn't accidentally make some kind of electrical contact with a part that it's not supposed to. Okay, so that's done. Now we can put this back in here. So it's keyed to go in right. It should set in here. Is that? There we go. And you want to tighten these. You want to get them reasonably thumb tight, but not too tight. You especially don't want to tighten them when it's under vacuum, because when it's under vacuum, this will pull down if you tighten it too much. When it's not under vacuum, it'd be like nearly impossible to get out. Then you just plug these back in. Okay, make sure they're secure. And then that's the source changed. So now open this back up. Put my sample on. Just, do you have your samples, Jinbu?
Yes.
I haven't noticed any difference really for where you put your sample where it matters. I generally just kind of evenly space them if I have multiple samples, but well, it doesn't matter. Just put them wherever.
It's better not to touch your samples with bare hands. You're touching this.
Yeah, it's too late.
Oh,
but yeah, it's not great, but it's okay, I guess. Let's see. I'm gonna have to. No, not my sample. Oh no, not face down. Oh. Hopefully it's still fine, but
You need help?
nah, I think I'm fine now. Because it's too many samples. We can do that. Little wonky trying to fit my little sample in there too. It's better, I'd say, to have them more on the outside than on the inside. You don't want them sitting too far on the inside or also start touching the quartz, which is how it knows how much it's deposited. So on the stage here, there's like a little pin, which I don't know if you can see it from above. It's under here. There's going to be one pin here. So you just need to know that to align it directly. And as you're putting it down, just make sure it doesn't touch that center quartz piece. Just lock again and then click pump.
So you don't change the height, right? When
No, it'll move automatically when I click start. But I generally keep the working distance at 55. It's a default.
Okay.
I haven't noticed yet any change. For my samples can vary by like 20 millimeters or so. So I don't think it's super critical, at least for the carbon coating. Okay, you're good. Yeah, so if you're doing gold plating with the other non-carbon coating sputtering, you need to make sure to turn on the argon. The regulator should already be set, but it should go to 50 psi? No, 50 kPa for the argon, and then just turn it off when you're done with it. But carbon coating doesn't need it.
Okay.
The pressure for this setting was just to 7.5 E-5 millibar, so it's reached that. I've already set up all the settings. You can just click start. It'll go through a few things like checking the quartz. You can also press start while it's still pumping, and it'll start once it's done pumping. However, you can't press start like immediately when you start pumping because the quartz needs to be at least under a certain amount of vacuum to be checked. So right now it's waiting for the vacuum, which you should get in a second because it's already at that vacuum. Checks the current between all the threads to make sure they're good. And I think it also degasses the threads. Really like 0.1-ish, 0.2-ish nanometers per pulse. So just like more or less one atom thick layer at a time, and it'll keep pulsing until it reaches your desired layer thickness or coating thickness. So yeah, it's finished. You just need to record the runtime, which is 255, and then I did change the thread, so target change complete. Just close out of that and click vent and wait
And
another
that's
5
it, huh?
minutes. Yeah. Okay, so now that it's done venting, just open this up again. Carefully lift this up and away from the quartz. So all these samples are now coated. Line back. So for cleaning, pretty straightforward. Just take a towel and get some. I like these.
Okay, yeah. Easier.
Yeah.
Instead of
That's ethanol.
Yeah, just some ethanol, and then you can vaguely see the spots on where the stubs were. So there was some positioning. Yeah, you're not going to get all the spot off, but just kind of wipe it down as best you can. It doesn't need to be perfect. And then I also recommended to me, but I guess not strictly required, to just wipe down the window too, because material will slowly like accumulate on the window, make it a little more opaque over time. Like you can see there's some like, I guess, material that's been deposited over time, kind of fogging it up slightly. But after that's done, it's dry. Just put this back in. You got to line this set hole with the pin that's on the stage. Come on. There we go. Just close this and put it into standby mode, assuming no one else is going to use it. And if you were doing gold, to turn off the argon source or the argon tank afterwards. And that's it.